Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and you may notice I'm back home, back in Fareham near Portsmouth, and today I have sat down and decided to look at my army again in this part of this 40k Chronicles series. In particular though, looking at pre-IDICBeer and post-IDICBeer. Now I'm playing him on Friday, today is Wednesday night, so I'm obviously recording this first bit before I actually post it because I'll wait until his battle report's gone up. But I wanted you to know about my tactics going into it. Not tactics from a competitive side, but the list side and how I wanted to play the list. So if you haven't seen already, my first 1500 point list is is in the playlist that this one's in. I'll leave a link in the description below. I have played a game with it since 1850, so roughly the same thing. People don't, from where I game in Swansea, don't like anything less than 2000 really, so getting them to play 1500 can be a bit difficult. So when we look at this 1500 point list from before, and I was trying to figure out a way to, I don't know, like increase its potency. So yeah, I had my Company Master Balthazar and his Terminators, and in this 1850 point game they performed a great role of being a focal point. I ended up drawing the game. It was against a friend of mine who plays competitively, very competitively, and we ended up drawing 13 all on objectives because what I could do was I used this semi-Death Star. It's not really, it's just a strong unit because it wasn't impossible to kill, don't get me wrong, he wiped through Terminators. But it was against Dark Eldar. I had the Relic Blade, so strength +2 AP3. I insta-killed his Archon, and I chopped through his Incubi. It was really a good unit for just. I had Incubi attack me. I had, in fact, I had 10 Incubi come out and try and get me. I managed to shoot some off the board in one turn, and in the following turn, I managed to. I was assaulted by them. I managed to last 2 turns and kill them all, with only Company Master Balthazar 2 remaining. And what I did was, for this game, I decided that I wanted a bit more potency, and I said, okay, my Mastery Level 1 Librarian, who's a Space Marine, let's put him on a bike. Now my thought with this was, he can move 12, cast a Psychic Power, and Turbo Boost out of line of sight if he needs to live. Alternatively, he won't be insta-killed by Strength 8 or 9. He can provide, he has a bigger area, a threat bubble, a bigger, what's the word I'm looking for? Boosting bubble as well, for helping out units. So by giving him the bike, I'm not doing it to rush him into combat. I'm doing it as a utility factor, which is what I'm really basing this Space Marine thing on. I'm saying each unit has to do more than one thing. Now I didn't put him with any other bikes. I had him as a separate unit. I had him out of line of sight. I got lucky. He's a Mastery Level 1. I rolled Invisibility, so that kept Balthazar alive a little longer. But I would just pop in and out of cover, move over here, move over there. It was something my opponent had to think about, and they had to dedicate 2 squads of firing to kill it. And that was really handy for me, obviously. And he was Dark Eldar, so he had the poison as well. I think he rolled unlucky on the first one. He wiped him out in the second one. I failed like 3 saves out of a possible 10, so I did alright rolling-wise then. I could have won the game, but I had the worst first turn I've ever rolled in my life. I didn't do any damage to his entire army. I got 1 objective and we were playing deadlock, so I had a lot of making up to do throughout the game. I managed to, obviously. So yeah, Librarian's been put on a bike now, so a couple of things have been downgraded. I've taken off the Dozer Blades from Rhinos, as I really only use them a little bit. I don't charge forward. I'm kind of moving them around the table. And what else did I do? I think I just took away melter bombs from a sergeant or something. So what I ended up doing was reducing the cost of each unit and adding in this bike for this Librarian so he can do a lot more. So his area of effect is much greater. Now obviously I've got the game against IDICBeer on Friday, so I'm going to keep it with the Librarian on the bike in there. And then what you'll see immediately after me talking is a post-game look at my list and how it performed against his list, and what I'm thinking going forwards. So I'll just show you the Space Marine Librarian on a bike. I finished painting him up yesterday. So it's obviously the top half of the Dark Vengeance model just sort of stuck on a bike and painted. An old bike model, I believe. Just one I had lying around. So yeah, that's been done. It's ready to go. You'll notice the colours are a little bit different. That's because I've started a Space Marine reboot. I'm going to go over that in a separate video though. I'm very excited for it, obviously, and what with the new year coming up, I'm really up for it. So yeah, I'm gonna stop recording now, and I'll see you in a few days' time, and I'll let you know how I got on. Right, I am back from playing IDICBeer. So it was quite a game. I really enjoyed it. And first off, thank you, Nick, for having me. He is a wonderful host. Sets up an amazing table, has beautifully painted models, and it's really nice to be able to immerse yourself in the game. When both sides are playing painted models, it's what you see is what you get, and you can really just throw yourself into the story. Now I know that's more my thing, the story, and I love that kind of element of it. So I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I shan't give away the result. Instead, I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the game, or at the very least this channel. No, it will be to the game actually. I'll wait till he's put the game up, so it'll be to the game. And you can watch how I got on there. So what I am going to say is there are things I've learned from this game. So first of all, Nick played his Nidzilla 1500 point list. So that's 2 Flying Hive Tyrants, 4 3-man Ripper Swarms, Toxicrene in a pod, Trigon Prime, Trigon, Carnifex. So 2 combined arms. And that was actually really interesting to see because I had so few targets. Picking the right one became very important. Now, obviously, I've only played, I think, 12, 13 games now. So I'm starting to get this idea, this initial learning curve of what I have to target. You take, maybe a weaker unit, you have to wipe them off the board, or else you've kind of failed in that turn. So these things are starting to come through my mind now. These things are starting to appear as I play the game. So what I learned about my game, what I learned about my list, is that I need a little bit more potency. I need one unit that can just come on, take out a unit, and then do maybe 2 units, but it just needs to be able to just remove a unit of models from the table in a single turn. Obviously, that's quite difficult with the high toughness. There are obviously ways around it. I think I could do with 2 more las cannons in my Devastator squad for a start. I think that's something that really needs to be implemented. Because that long range, low AP, high strength is potent. I think I could also do with getting my flyer built and painted. There's obviously a lot of options there. Strength 10 AP2, or I can take the Avenger Mega Bolter, strength 6 AP4. So yeah, there's a lot of choice. I'm looking forward to getting them painted up anyway. I'm going to magnetize or similar, so I will get both options, depending on what I want to take that game. But I think that anti-air, that high potency is required. I also think a couple more las cannons are definitely needed. Now that does leave me in a tricky spot because I want to take away tactical marines, but I can only take so many away because of the nature of the combined arms and allied detachments. I want to be able to combat squad or leave it as 10 because I want that flexibility. I have a tough time getting all these things into one list. Now, this is where it might be easier just to take the Dark Angels and play them. Well, I don't want to make that many adjustments to the list right now. I don't want to be removing, because I'm just getting the grips of the 3, but I know that 2 is what I should be playing right now. So it's a real touch and go on whether I scrap the Space Marine half and just bring in more points in Dark Angels, which I now have. So I could theoretically do it if I get myself in gear and do some painting. Or is it a case of I drop a few things, see how the unit does, and then go on to finding more potent things? So that's probably the way I'm going to have to do it. For now, I'll probably have a decision made by the next time I play a game, a proper 1500 point game. Obviously, still lots coming up in the channel the end of this year, beginning of next, in terms of kill team and small point games, whilst I really learn how to record a game and try and get the feel I want for the back rep. I want it to be really story orientated. I want it to be cool, fun, Competitive is less on my list of things to do. If it turns out to be a competitive game, then so be it. But I really want to inject the fun, the banter side of it. So that's quite key. So I'm trying to figure out the best way of doing that at the moment. But yeah, the thing I've learnt with my list so far is potency. I've got the good HQ choice. He's got a good bodyguard unit. I've got bodies on the table. I don't need as many as I'm putting out there. So definitely potency. With that in mind, I'm going to go and look at my models, look at my list, formulate some ideas. And I'll probably play a couple of games with this new list because I figure it'll be a little bit stronger. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, this has been me, Callum, from Tabletop Banter. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment below as well if you are finding this helpful at all, or if it's inspiring you to really look at how you play the game. Also, don't forget to click on IDICBeer's link to that game to find out how it goes, find out how I got on, and yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, have fun.